The story begins with Xiaoyu, the senior disciple of the Carefree sect. Everyone thinks he is weird, but he's actually just an ordinary guy that was reincarnated into this world. His new life has been too easy and comfortable, so he worries he is just a side character that will become fodder when the protagonist shows up. So his mission is to do everything he can, just to survive. He is convinced that his junior Lin Fei is the protagonist because he has a tragic backstory and is considered to be a prodigy. So Xiaoyu clings onto him, begging for his protection, but Lin Fei just finds him weird. Their junior Zhao, who is stuck at level 2, asks for Lin Fei's advice for cultivation training because he's already at level 7, but Lin Fei can't relate to him because he has a heavenly spiritual root, which makes him a genius, so he has never had problems with his training. He explains that Zhao has twin spiritual roots like Xiaoyu, so Zhao immediately goes to Xiaoyu for help. Lin Fei tries to stop him, but it's already too late. We see Xiaoyu, who is at level 8, but he tells Zhao not to worry about cultivation, since they are just NPCs in the story. Zhao wonders what an NPC is, but before Xiaoyu could answer, a bright light surrounds him, and he somehow reaches level 9. Lin Fei rushes over, revealing that Xiaoyu levels up every time someone asks him about cultivation. He kicks Xiaoyu out of jealousy, saying he has worked so hard just to reach level 7, while he is already at level 9. One day, their sister Mei is looking for Xiaoyu, but he hides from her. She runs into Lin Fei, but gets disappointed it's not Xiaoyu. Zhao sees him hiding from Mei, and can tell that she likes him, so he asks Xiaoyu why he doesn't want to be with her. But Xiaoyu can see that Lin Fei likes her, so it would be suicide to compete with the protagonist. They begin to argue, causing Mei to notice them. Xiaoyu runs away, but she chases after him, and Lin Fei seems upset. As Xiaoyu is eating some fruits, Lin Fei becomes upset with his behavior, wondering why he is so lazy. Lin Fei warns him not to take fruits from a certain area in the garden, but Xiaoyu teases him, saying that he must be planning to save the best fruits for Mei, because he likes her. Lin Fei suddenly pulls out his sword, threatening to end Xiaoyu's life if he says anything about it. Xiaoyu promises not to say anything, but Zhao overhears them, so Lin Fei threatens to end both of them. The next day, Zhao thinks about the complicated relationship between the disciples, since Lin Fei likes Mei, but she likes Xiaoyu. But he wonders who Xiaoyu likes. Later that day, Xiaoyu visits to give him some food, along with a secret scroll that can help him with his cultivation. Zhao gets freaked out by this, thinking that Xiaoyu likes him, but his senior hugs him, telling him he feels the most comfortable around him, since they are both side characters. We see them in a room with Lin Fei. As Zhao reads the scroll, he notices that Xiaoyu is staring at him, so he gets scared, wanting to avoid his senior for a while. He asks Xiaoyu if there's something he needs to do, but his senior claims that NPCs don't really need to do anything, and if they did too much, they might get targeted by the protagonist. Zhao hangs out with Mei, thinking that it would help keep Xiaoyu away from him. Xiaoyu tries to warn him that he's in trouble, but Zhao doesn't listen as he continues to enjoy his time with Mei. At the end of the day, Lin Fei is mad at Zhao for spending all day with Mei and chases after him. They run past Xiaoyu, and Lin Fei sees him eating another one of his fruits again, so he chases after him as well. Later, when Zhao is headed to the market, he runs into Xiaoyu, who gives him a talisman just in case, saying he is likely to get robbed since he is a side character, but Zhao doesn't believe him. Sure enough, after shopping, he runs into 3 disciples from the largest sect. Thinking he's about to get robbed, he uses the talisman. The disciples claim they just want to get to know him, but Zhao gets suspicious, so he starts running away, and the 3 disciples chase him. One of them throws needles at him, but Xiaoyu arrives just in time. He tries to act cool, but Zhao realizes that Xiaoyu is already injured because of the needles. Xiaoyu tries to intimidate his enemies, saying that he is level 9, but they notice that he is injured. The 3 of them are at level 8, so they think that they can take him on. He orders Zhao to run away, and he reluctantly obeys, calling out for Lin Fei. After Zhao escapes, Xiaoyu suddenly tells them that there is no need to fight, as he was just pretending to be cool in front of his junior. The men try to strike him down, but he starts running away, begging his enemies to stop chasing him. After a while, Xiaoyu gets exhausted, and they throw needles at him. He sees his life flash before his eyes, and he thinks that he's really going to die, but the needles get deflected, and Lin Fei appears. The three disciples mock Lin Fei, thinking he is only at level 7, but Lin Fei says that Xiaoyu's life belongs to him, charging at them and fighting them all at once. Xiaoyu casually watches, and Lin Fei tells him to help out, but he refuses, saying he is injured, and that they should be no problem for him, since he is the protagonist. Lin Fei ends up winning the fight, and as he is about to finish them off, he gets interrupted as lightning strikes. The enemy's senior brother, Gong, appears asking Lin Fei to spare his juniors. Xiaoyu finds him cool, thinking he is a mini-boss in the story, but Gong's juniors reveal that he is a genius who has mastered many techniques at a young age, making Xiaoyu think that Gong could be the real protagonist of the story. Lin Fei charges at him, but he instantly gets blown away. Gong is about to finish him off, but Xiaoyu blocks his attack. He easily disarms Xiaoyu and grabs him by the neck. Lin Fei calls out to Xiaoyu, catching the attention of Gong, who thinks the name sounds familiar. Lin Fei tries to attack him once again, but he gets stabbed and pinned against the wall. Gong suddenly asks about Xiaoyu's identity as he starts squeezing his face, making him confused. And we learn that Gong is actually blind and recognizes people by touch. After confirming his identity, Gong decides to just leave, but he hopes to meet Xiaoyu again. Later that night, Xiaoyu gets interrogated by Lin Fei about how he knows Gong. And we see that many years ago, Gong was lost and alone. He is approached by a shady guy, but Xiaoyu appears and beats up the man. He offers to help him get home, but since he is blind, Xiaoyu carries him home, and Gong is grateful to him. But Xiaoyu was actually just completing a quest. We meet Uncle Chen, the acting leader of the sect. Their master went into seclusion for 10 years, so he is managing the sect in the meantime, but he has a very short temper. Chen receives a report that the sect is in debt, which makes him angry, and Xiaoyu tries to sneak away, but he gets caught, and Chen orders for him to be kicked out. But 2 days later, he wonders where Xiaoyu is, and the others remind him he kicked him out, but he says he doesn't remember, so he orders everyone to call him back. Chen is revealed to be the father of Mei, but he pretends to be her brother while around the other disciples. She asks him for a new magic weapon, but he knows that their budget is tight, so he is careful about what they spend money on, but he has a soft spot for his daughter. The disciples train for a tournament, but Xiaoyu slacks off, and Lin Fei gets mad at him, thinking he will embarrass their group. But Xiaoyu is not bothered, saying it's fine to lose as an NPC. Chen tells them that the winner of the tournament will win a rare scroll, and Xiaoyu thinks if he can help Lin Fei to win it, he may protect him in the future. They get matched up to fight, and Xiaoyu wants to give up, but Lin Fei insists on fighting. Xiaoyu tries to fight seriously, but he is easily defeated. Chen reprimands him, asking how a level 9 cultivator lost to someone who is only at level 7. But Xiaoyu explains that Lin Fei's heavenly roots are the strongest, so his progress is equivalent to a level 9 cultivator. Mei is worried about his injuries, but he gets nervous as he sees Lin Fei getting angry. Chen congratulates Lin Fei for winning and reminds him not to follow in Xiaoyu's footsteps. Later that evening, Xiaoyu wonders why he isn't the protagonist of the story, even though he was reincarnated. He recalls his first encounter with Lin Fei, thinking he made a good first impression, but now their relationship has deteriorated, so he is going to become cannon fodder. Xiaoyu cries, as he imagines himself suffering an early death, but he is still determined to survive no matter what. One day, Chen summons the disciples, telling them that Mei left for the outside world, but still hasn't returned after 2 days, so he orders them to find her. Xiaoyu imagines that if he is the one that rescues Mei, Lin Fei would resent him and train to become so strong until he eventually comes back to destroy him. But if he lets Lin Fei save her, they will get together, and his life would be spared, so he decides to follow this plan. They start looking for Mei, and they eventually find her screaming for help. A mysterious creature appears, and Xiaoyu tells Lin Fei to go ahead and save Mei. Lin Fei thinks he has a plan, but Xiaoyu is ready to cheer for him from behind. Lin Fei attacks the creature, but it manages to evade all of his attacks. The creature attacks using its energy, but Zhao uses an ability that makes the attack disappear. The creature tries to attack Zhao, but Lin Fei deflects the attack. Xiaoyu cheers him on, thinking that his chance of surviving will increase if Lin Fei saves Mei. Lin Fei enchants his sword and launches a thrust that allows him to defeat the creature. But as the creature disappears, Mei suddenly falls. Lin Fei tries to catch her, but he misses, and Xiaoyu panics, thinking he is going to die. Mei gets up, and she starts thanking him for saving her, causing Lin Fei to get upset. As Lin Fei walks away, Xiaoyu knows that he is screwed. During training, Xiaoyu gets chased around by Lin Fei, but Zhao tells them there is a package they need to pick up. They go to the post office and find a very suspicious-looking package. They argue over who should hold it, but Xiaoyu ends up being forced to take it. As they make their way back, he becomes paranoid that he is going to get hunted down by assassins. He gets scared by everything and wants to give the box to Lin Fei, thinking the box is a death flag and only the protagonist can hold onto it, but Lin Fei refuses, saying that there are no assassins around. But at that moment, some men appear, demanding that they hand over the package. While Lin Fei is holding onto the box, Xiaoyu uses a talisman, which instantly sends him flying away. The men chase after him, and Zhao worries for Lin Fei, but Xiaoyu tells him not to worry, since he is the protagonist. Lin Fei gets chased around, while the two just enjoy themselves. After 3 days, Lin Fei still hasn't returned, and Zhao becomes worried again, but Xiaoyu assures him that he will be okay. Lin Fei suddenly returns, and he is furious, so he chases after Xiaoyu, trying to end him, but Xiaoyu hides behind Zhao, who tells them that Chen is looking for them. They go to Chen, and he informs them that the box they brought back was empty. He thinks someone stole the contents, and wonders who carried the box. As Lin Fei is about to tell him the truth, Xiaoyu stops him, and takes the blame. As a result, he gets expelled from the sect, but he is surprisingly happy. As he leaves, the others see him off, and he tells Lin Fei to look after their juniors, because they'll be counting on him. He is the most upset about leaving Zhao, worrying for his safety, because he is the only NPC left, who will likely be used to awaken the protagonist's potential. Although he is sad to leave the sect, Xiaoyu reveals that he took the blame to leave his role as an NPC, and also stay on Lin Fei's good side. He's now happy, because he no longer has to worry about suffering an early death. Suddenly, 3 men appear before him, informing him that Chen wants to destroy his spiritual root, so that he will not be a threat to the sect in the future. Xiaoyu is glad they are not after his life, and casually destroys his spiritual root himself. The men are shocked to see this, and Xiaoyu asks if he can leave. But their leader says that his family is powerful, so he is still a threat to them. Xiaoyu instantly writes a letter that severs his ties with his family, and the men cry thinking he has amazing resolve, so they just let him go. He starts working as a waiter in a small restaurant, and he enjoys his new role. After work, his boss compliments him on his performance, and Xiaoyu celebrates finally escaping his role as a cannon fodder NPC. However, Lin Fei suddenly appears before him. Xiaoyu is shocked to see him, and Lin Fei chases him around. But he tells him that the people at the sect want him back. Xiaoyu doesn't want to go back, saying that he is a bad disciple, but Lin Fei throws his sword and knocks him out. When he wakes up, he panics because they are flying in mid-air. Lin Fei asks him about his relationship with Mei, but Xiaoyu says there is nothing going on. He orders Lin Fei to let him down, so Lin Fei drops him to the ground. Xiaoyu finds himself in a strange place, and Lin Fei asks him if he knows where they are, but Xiaoyu doesn't recognize it. Lin Fei starts walking towards a cliff edge, and Xiaoyu thinks he wants to jump, so he tries to stop him, promising he has no relationship with Mei. Lin Fei reveals he was also reincarnated, but he is reliving his life, and Xiaoyu was the one who killed him. In a flashback, we see Xiaoyu, as he has just defeated Lin Fei. Lin Fei promises to get his revenge on Xiaoyu in the afterlife, revealing that he was the leader of the 3 demonic realms. Back in the present, Lin Fei states that instead of the afterlife, he was given a second chance, and he doesn't blame Xiaoyu since he doesn't remember anything. Lin Fei calls Xiaoyu the protagonist as he pushes him off the cliff. As Xiaoyu falls, he realizes that Lin Fei is actually the final boss, but he becomes excited learning that he is actually the protagonist. But that's where this video ends. If you want to see more of this series, let me know in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.